Okay, we're live.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I love it. We look so sporty.
I was like, let me put on my referee outfit because I'm calling the shots.
I love it.
So
I
I'm
love it.
feeling.
How you doing on this Monday, day after Super Bowl?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. Work. Super Bowl is over.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Super Bowl came and went. If I had to be truly honest, I completely forgot until like the morning of, and I was like, oh snap, I had seen a post and I was like, that's today, let me make arrangements.
Yeah, I didn't know Super Bowl was happening until maybe a week ago today.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I'm like super tapped in and tuned into it, and it just wasn't a blip on my radar, which is crazy.
Right.
We have all the action and all the tea from yesterday.
Okay.
What's going on? Aside from it, me suspecting that it's going to be a super spreader event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw all those people in the stands.
I did. Even though they said, so what it was 20,000 people that were there, and then 30,000 people were cardboard cutouts, and then the assigned seats were spread out in between. But still, 20,000 people congregated in one location is still extremely too many, if you ask me.
And I think of those 20,000, maybe 7,000 to 9,000 were supposedly vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what's the likelihood of
yeah, the ratios there sound
not good ratios. Not horrible. Since Florida opened, like
right.
Atlanta, they had all kind of parties.
Right.
So I was low-key jealous, but then at the same time, I don't want to die. So
right. Right.
Yeah, but I'm super excited to chat with you today about what happened. Just again, there's so much going on in the world, and then we have a wonderful guest that's going to be joining us in just a couple seconds.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited to talk with her. Real quick, I mean, what did you think of the Super Bowl?
You want me to my highlights for Super Bowl?
Sure.
Well, I'm a football girl. Okay, I will say that. I was born and raised an Oakland Raiders fan.
Okay.
It's on Oakland because when they're not in Oakland, it's neither here nor there. So I still rep my retro Oakland Raiders. Backstory. If you're a Raiders fan, if you know anything about the Raiders and our relationship with Tom Brady's from the Bay. So I always have this conflict within myself as to whether or not I should root for him. But if you know his history with the Oakland Raiders, we hate Tom Brady because they played us out of a championship back in 2002. So I don't know. Like I wanted, if you know anything about divisions, there's the AFC and the NFC. I usually always go for the AFC team because that's what division the Raiders are in. So Kansas City plus, black quarterback, I was here for it. But Brady was balling his butt off. So I was kind of like, you know what? He's from the Bay. I don't know. I really wasn't interested in any of the teams, but for it to be a blowout like that was kind of crazy. Aside from that, who performed again?
Jasmine Sullivan performed with someone at to do the national anthem. She should have done it by herself, but whatever. Then her performed what's that song? America the Beautiful. Yes, H.E.R. her. She performed. She did amazing. Jasmine also amazing.
Yeah.
And then the halftime show was The Weeknd with no additional guests.
Oh yeah, him. So what did you think?
It was an interesting show. If I'm going to talk about the entertainment highlights, her was great. Jasmine Sullivan was wonderful. The Weeknd, beautiful gowns. And then I guess I tuned into the game. I'm not much of a football guy. I will say, and if I am tuning into football, I'm usually tuning into my Saints, obviously, New Orleans, baby. But they weren't there. So I did tune into the game. Shout out to Tampa Bay. I believe they made history. It was the first time a team has won in their home city, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But yeah, so good for them. I'm sure that the city appreciates the win. So
you know how old Tom Brady is, by the way?
I know
He's
he's old.
like the oldest. He's like 43 or something like that. Like the oldest player in.
I remember I was watching a highlight somewhere, and they were saying who Mahomes was. He was 6 years old when Tom won his first Super Bowl. I said, "Oh, that man needs to." He old.
That is so crazy. But I have to say, I have to give it up to Mahomes because he played with so much heart yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like he just didn't have a good team. And, that's metaphorical to life, baby. If you don't have a good team, where can you go? You can't score touchdowns.
Right.
How good you are. And that's what I love about football is because it's not an individual sport. It's really about team. So that's my little metaphorical moment. But I'm glad you enjoyed that much at least.
Shout out to Ron. That's right. Who that? You already know. 504. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Alvinus.
Ryan, but you from the Bay.
So what?
What's
so
going on?
That gold bleeds everywhere.
Okay? Got Carlos in. He says, and Tom Brady robotic ass There are some extreme Tom Brady haters out there in the world. I would be one of them if he wasn't from the Bay. Like, I think, like if he wasn't from the Bay Area, I would like just despise him.
Yeah,
because his family's from NOLA. Okay, I used to like New Orleans Saints when they had Ricky Williams back in the day.
Yeah,
if y'all know what that is, but yeah, but I'm excited to talk to our guest.
Yes, we do. Let's introduce her right now. Me and McCall go way back. She used to join me back at a previous radio show. She is the epitome of fun. She's the epitome of someone who knows her facts about sports. Her tagline is actually when sports and pop culture collide. I love talking to her. Let's just bring her on through. It's McCall Hall.
Hey,
everybody. How are you guys? Are you guys hungover?
No.
I wasn't hungover, but I was definitely drinking yesterday.
Child, I was laying down with an ice pack on my hip. That's how my Super Bowl.
You're supposed to take the ice and put the ice in the margarita.
Oh, I remember that. That. But what was that on yesterday? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, thank you guys for having me. This is awesome.
Thank you. We're very curious to know what you thought about yesterday's game, all the banter, all the shenanigans surrounding it.
Yeah, I know you're going to put down your 5 highlights from the Super Bowl.
Yes. I'm going to look. First of all, Josh is absolutely correct. We go back like snapbacks and every other snapback. You know what I'm talking he's one of my favorite people from the 504. So when my phone, shows Josh number, I pick it up right away.
Okay.
But let me tell you guys, 5 highlights from this Super Bowl. We would be remiss to not start with the lowest of light, and that is the car crash that involved Britt Reed, the son of Andy Reid. He has a history and a past of drug and alcohol abuse, and that caught up to him. I believe it was the night before, or 2 nights before the Super Bowl. He got into a car accident and injured 2 young children, and one of them is fighting for her life. And so I encourage you guys, please donate to the GoFundMe. It shouldn't be the responsibility of the public to take care of these people, but until the Reed family is able to sort this out, I just want to challenge everybody to support the family and that young girl who's fighting for her life. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the gags, and all that. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm from Washington. I like the Seahawks. I go so far as to love them when they are above 8-8. I just want to give a shout out to Russell Wilson showing up to the Super Bowl. Now, let me explain why this is kind of different.
Okay.
My buddy over here who's the Oakland Raiders fan.
Yeah.
If Derek Carr showed up to the Super Bowl just to watch, he would be kind of mad, right?
Especially because Tom Brady was there, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Russell Wilson, you guys have to remember, he is married to a platinum selling everything kind of artist in Sierra. And they were actually in town, not only to watch the game, but Russell Wilson won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So Russell Wilson, when Sierra said she found a good one, she found a great one. He is the most outstanding man off the field for the NFL this year. So I thought that was really awesome. I love to see them there. I wasn't digging Sierra's look, but this is what I've come to realize.
Head. I was like, girl, you okay.
Yeah, it's not my thing, but I'm also not a platinum selling artist. I don't have to reinvent every other day. I ain't there yet. Okay, yeah. But loving the fact that they were there, I think they are trying to become the like royalty of the NFL, and I thought it was a great look for them to support to win that award. I thought it was a great look.
Yeah.
On my list to go down, I want to talk about 2 commercials. The first one is Shaggy's commercial for Cheetos. It wasn't me.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Funny.
Oh, so funny.
We had Shaggy. We had Ashton Kutcher. And what's her name? Mila. What is it? Mila
Kunis, his wife.
Yes, his wife, Mila Kunis. I thought it was really well done. But I got a question for you guys. I became familiar with Ashton Kutcher when he had the movie with, I want to say it was Brittany Murphy. They were newlyweds.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I believe he married Demi Moore, something like that. But I haven't seen Ashton Kutcher since like Gronk, right? Like I hadn't seen him. Is it just me, or does he need to get a little work done?
I feel like he's been doing some philanthropic work.
He's old.
And he's old, yeah.
I mean,
Mila looked great, but she looked amazing.
Mila looked timeless. Timeless. Like every kind of Lemur oil on those parts. But
yes.
Ashton, I had to like blink real hard because I didn't know if that was Ashton or who the hell that was. I thought it was Joe Biden.
Oh my goodness, McCall, I cannot.
I thought it was Joe Biden. Anywho, so I really enjoyed the commercial. It was great to see Shaggy get a bag. Let me tell you something. Shaggy
gets that.
I feel like he gets paid all the time. His music
on the strength of that song too.
On the strength of that song, I'm sure Shaggy's walking away with $1 million, $2 million, easy in the bank.
2 hits, and let me tell y'all artists something about this residual licensing and distribution. You only need 1-2 hits that will last you for a lifetime, and you will still eat. Make sure you look at your contracts because he is still eating off of that.
Clearly, with Cheetos all over his face. I like that commercial a lot. But the commercial that got me all excited. Let me just get comfortable. Where's my glass of water?
I'm excited.
So I love a young man by the name of Aubrey Drake Graham. And I kept saying to myself during the Super Bowl, I said, Aubrey should be involved. I mean, he's the biggest artist of our recent memory, okay? And it started getting a little dull. The commercial started to bother me. And next thing I know, I see Jake from State Farm looking magically delicious. He's a good-looking guy. Give him his credit.
He's very handsome. He's very handsome.
He has a nice voice. He has a very nice voice.
He has a wonderful voice. And I look up, and his stunt double is the one, the only Aubrey Drake Graham. I got to give it to State Farm. That commercial, while it was a little dry, it did what it needed to do. It dropped Super Bowl Sunday. Like, that's amazing. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
They played it multiple times too. They played it like towards the beginning, and they also played it towards the end.
Yeah, I think it got like at least 3 runs, which is huge.
Yeah.
The commercials for me this year, I didn't love them, but I will say I noticed towards the end of the game, and I think this is on purpose. Did you guys notice that towards the end of the game, the commercials were very heartfelt? We're all in this together.
Yes.
You're white, I'm black, but we're all in this. Like all the commercials felt very, let's reunite.
Sentimental and yeah.
And I think that was done on purpose because by the third quarter, you pretty lit, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was in my feelings. I was like, is it the tequila or is it just this commercial? But I want to reach out and hug somebody of an opposite race.
I'm over it, honestly. I'm done with the sentimental commercials. I'm like, all right, we get it. It's been a year. You know what? I was like, turn up.
I'll get into another commercial that I love, but I want to hear the rest of your 5. Was that it?
So we'll take a pit stop from the commercials and we'll talk about the drug overdose that was the weekend. I don't do drugs. I do have, an occasional glass of wine, maybe some tequila here and there. And I had at least 2 margaritas by halftime.
Uh-huh.
And I had the worst of headache when that was over. I had the worst of headache. First of all, if an African-American woman hopped onto national television with her head looking like that, you guys would have something to say. You guys would have something to say. The Weeknd hopped out of bed like, okay, I'm not even going to bother running a pick through this bad boy. Let's just go to the Super Bowl.
But we've never known him to like have like well-kept hair.
The quad he started with the nuts and the berries, at least had a shape. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Now, I didn't like the way it started. It was a little slow, but I give him credit because he was paying homage to Michael Jackson. I don't know if you guys know about The Weeknd, but he really idolizes Michael Jackson. But I turned to my mom and let her know, and she's so old, she don't know the difference between Michael or The Weeknd. But I let her know he doesn't have it. He doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, as they say. He ain't Michael. He might idolize Michael, but baby, you ain't Michael. Let Michael rest in peace, because that was it. Now that's what I'm going to say on that. Next, when he went into that golden room with all of those different corona spreaders, I freaked out. That was a super spreader. But then he went to masks.
They had masks on.
I don't care. To be that close in that golden room, that was a golden corona. Okay. That's what I call it. Was golden corona.
They were all tested like daily for that production. I know because I know several people that were in, but just to give some insight, I know several people that were in that production. And
it probably looked like it was more people than it was because it was a bunch of mirrors.
Right. Yeah, it was a whole bunch of mirrors. I think it was funny that moment created so many memes within minutes. I mean, minutes. Twitter was people oh my gosh.
Y'all had
I think everybody at the same time had the same kind of headache because I was looking for Advil and Lysol, looking at all that mess. I needed Advil and Lysol. Now the Weeknd made up though. He made up for it when he went out onto that field. The cinematography, the camera angles, all of that.
Yes,
this is what I was waiting for. Did I know the songs that he was singing at that point? Hell no, because I haven't listened to The Weeknd since Starboy. But I loved how they shot it. It was beautifully done, and they ended on a stronger note. Mm-hmm. They ended on a stronger note. Yes. All those masked coronaviruses out on the field, wearing the red jackets. But I'm going to ask you guys, are you guys Laker or Clipper fans by chance? Do you guys go to the Staples Center for the games? Mm-hmm. Well, for those of you guys who are familiar with Staples Center, all of the security wears red coats that look just like the damn red coats from last night. When I was watching it, I'm like, so they got everybody that works at Staples Center to come out and be an extra. I see. Like if you just
McCall.
It was side by side. It was the same thing. So kudos to The Weeknd. This is my prediction, and you guys please disagree with me if you don't like where I'm going with it. I think that Drake is trying to warm it up to be the halftime act. Now, they said that The Weeknd spent $6 million to put on this show because now they make you pay for it. Because you're going to get all that press, take the money back. You know, it's not. Right. Yeah. I think Drake will be the next Canadian to grace the stage of the Super Bowl. I think he let The Weeknd warm it up, but Drizzy coming.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because I honestly felt as though, he should have had Drake with him. At some point, Drake should have came out. If it wasn't for Drake, we wouldn't know who The Weeknd is. Can we? Are we?
I think he should have had a guest.
Somebody, but I definitely think he could have had Drake come out. That's just me personally.
It would have made sense.
And then why is it that no hip hop artist has ever headlined the Super Bowl? Like none, not zero. They've come out, they've made special appearances. Yeah. But why? Y'all have had country, y'all have had rock, whoever. Janet's Titty made an appearance. Y'all done did everything else. But why can't we have a hip hop artist when we are the curators of the cool culture?
Now let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back. Now Beyonce, the first time Beyonce graced halftime was with Coldplay.
And no, that was the second time.
That was second?
Mm-hmm. That was the second time?
Yes. Formation came out after because she performed Formation. and that came out after her first Super Bowl performance.
Well, that year with Beyonce and Coldplay, that was like a cold plate of food. Didn't nobody care about Coldplay. They only cared about Beyonce.
And Bruno did his thing too.
Bruno did his thing, but you know, I don't know if it should have been Drake, but hell, call Party Next Door. Call one of them OVOs, them XOs. They got all of them different letters up north.
Get all those.
I completely agree with you. They needed somebody else to come with The Weeknd. But as I think about it, I don't know if he's got a song that features another artist that would have done it just. I don't know.
I can think of one. Granted, I'm not like a huge Weeknd fan, but I think I honestly think he wanted his Michael Jackson / Prince moment. I think that's what he honestly wanted. Prince didn't have nobody come out. Michael Jackson didn't have anybody come out. Granted, they're just a higher caliber of artistry in general. Yeah. But I'm surprised. Like, I couldn't even hear him. First of all, I couldn't hear him. Okay. I had to turn, my TV is loud too, honey. I had to turn it all the way up. And I do respect the fact, however, that he was not lip syncing. That I can appreciate, but I couldn't hear him.
Yeah. I want to point out what Alvinus just said, that Wyclef Jean and the Black Eyed Peas performed one year. Although there's, I mean, how can I put it? I used to be a fan of the Black Eyed Peas, but I mean, if you think about it, they became like notoriously famous when they added a white girl to the group. You know, so it made them palpable for white America. Exactly. I don't want to take away from will.i.am or the rest of the group, but you know, I mean, let's keep it all the way.
The original Black Eyed Peas would have never,
right?
Especially the type of music that they were making.
Exactly, because they were making very woke hip hop, like
And see, here's the thing about the Black Eyed Peas, and I'll move on to the next after I say this, but the Black Eyed Peas started out with ham hocks and pork elements in the recipe. It is now very much organic. I don't know if they're putting any kind of pork byproduct in their black. Mm-hmm. I think by the time they got to the Super Bowl, it was like turkey neck.
Yeah.
But I thought the halftime was what it needed to be. They needed somebody that spoke to the younger audience, to those of us who are on the cusp. Okay. But I'm just hopeful that Drake shows up next year. Yeah. Now, I want to get to your Bay buddy in Tom Brady. I just want to say this, y'all, and I know he had his MAGA hat moment and all that. And I don't know, I don't want to get on to his life outside of football. But when it comes to an individual holding a football, slinging a football, leading men, there ain't nobody like Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He let me know last night, y'all can try, but there will, let me not say ever be, but it's going to be a long time before we see another Tom Brady. Let me set this up for you. The man's 43 years old. The man had won 6 Super Bowls before going to Tampa. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the worst overall record in American professional sports history. They were 7-9 last year. They've got a new coach, a lot of new assistants. They brought Tom Brady, and he brought his goons and Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski. And he let everybody in New England know, oh, you don't think I can be better without you? Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Tom Brady had us all holding his beer, and I watched in amazement. I don't know if I was more impressed by the performance of Tom Brady or if I was more disappointed in Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes, either you got to cut your hair in the off season or you got to get divorced. It's one or the other.
Because I don't think it was his fault. I thought he played with so much heart. There was a couple of passes. His people around him, they let baby get sacked 1, 2, 3 too many times. There's no way that man should have been running away for his life like that many times. His line was just disrespectful to me yesterday. I thought he was great.
I respect what you're saying, but he ran to the bank a whole lot faster with that $500 million he got in the offseason. So Patrick,
come on.
Patrick, 3 field goals with $500 million won't cut it. I need at least one. So back to what I was going to say. Tom Brady's the GOAT. You've got 2 Super Bowl rings after the age of 40. Hell, I'll be lucky if I got a husband after 40. Like, Tom is out here really doing it big. And what people don't realize, his wife has made more money than him. Giselle is the breadwinner. He just goes to work. And didn't go to work. So shout out to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Congratulations. I'm sure they partied all night. The last thing I want to make mention of, you guys already touched on it, was the Black Girl Magic. Let's get into Alicia Keys and Lift Every Voice and Sing. I liked. Let's get into H.E.R. Her. I loved. Let's get into Amanda Gorman and that lovely poem.
Yes.
Or a poem, as Oprah would say, a poem. But what I was mad about, and I think y'all will agree, Andy Cohen had her on every show. She's been on every press run talking about this national anthem performance that got the girls ready. I pressed out my wig and natural hair for Jasmine. And to see her sharing the stage with someone else was disappointing. We deserve better, and I want Jasmine to have her moment in the future. But those are my 5 highlights from the Super Bowl. And again, I can't wait for the Super Bowl to touch down in LA. It's going to be off the chain. And like I said, I'd be willing to put money on it. We're going to see the 6th dad next year.
Okay.
I'm with it. Touching back on the Jasmine Sullivan situation, my sentiments are the exact same as yours. I did see a really, really interesting perspective. However, there were some darker skin tone people that said, you know what, this was about unity. I think it's good that they had her with a country music artist because the country is so divided at this point. You know, that it was good to see these 2 share the stage, you know, blase, blah, blah. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that perspective? Do you think they really did it for the culture, or they just couldn't let Jasmine have her moment?
They couldn't let Jasmine have her moment. It was one too many Black girls for them. I think
it was one too many. My thing is, that's fine, but tell me that on Watch What Happens Live. Because I stayed up. Yeah. Like when I Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, they're talking about Jasmine will be the singer. Okay, so give me the unity, but tell me in advance.
A friend of mine gave me his perspective, and he said, his name is Dustin. He told me, said, this was the perfect picture of America. Here you have a white man who's significantly less talented than a Black woman, and he doesn't have to do much to be given the platform, where a Black woman has to struggle and fight 5 times harder than he does just to get some shine, and still has to share that stage with a lesser talented white person.
I will say, I think also this was a play. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Morgan Wallen, country superstar whose song is like #1 right now on all the country charts. He got in trouble a few days ago. Yeah, when they said the N-word. And the country music community has canceled him in terms of the executives and the radio stations. They have canceled him completely.
But not the fans. He's
still getting his coin. His song is still #1. I think this was probably a ploy because of that. I think that may have trickled down and caused this to happen. That's just my guess, just me personally. I think that may have influenced this decision somewhat. Which is shady.
Well, we'll just have to wait for the BET Awards to get something just for us.
But speaking of
we'll have to wait for Soul Train.
I forgot one of my favorite commercials from yesterday was the lemon beer.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, yeah. The lemons falling from everywhere.
Was so funny.
And how it was so retrospective of 2020. I thought that was so clever, so creative, and it was just hilarious. And that's how we all felt. We all felt like we were just getting hit with lemons everywhere. That was probably, aside from the State Farm commercial, that was probably my other favorite commercial. But usually Budweiser or somebody else comes through with a killer. And they just, I don't know, the commercials just weren't as entertaining to me yesterday as they normally are.
Budweiser tried to bring it back. They did kind of like an all-star commercial. I like that concept. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to, I think it's probably 5 years from now, but you guys remember the Super Bowl baby commercial where they had all the babies that were born in different years, like right after.
Oh, they did show that. Yeah. I do remember.
I think that they're gonna have to redo that commercial in like 5 years. Like I think some of these commercials are just like the precursor to like the big one that's coming. Yeah, which is exciting. I think that the industry and what you're seeing from commercials, they're taking bits and pieces from the past and incorporating them into the new. And I'm looking forward to what 5 years from now, what the commercials will look like during the Corona year, because they're going to pay homage at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good. I didn't think about that. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're not going to take up too much of your time. This is our little bite-sized episode. We felt it would be important for us to come on here and express ourselves. I would definitely love to hear more about you, McCall. If you can let our audience know where they can find you, what you have going on during these crazy times. We want to hear all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm actually hanging out inside of a shed, a she shed. It's not finished yet, but we're getting there. But thank you guys so much for having me. You guys can definitely find me on social media when sports and pop culture collide. I have my own personal Instagram account, McCall Hall of Fame. You can definitely go there. But I am launching a new platform called Art by Athlete. And so I just like to encourage everybody to check out Art by Athletes. We highlight, profile, and we'll be hosting a party next year, the night before the Super Bowl in LA, where sports stars and their artistic expressions will come together for a really awesome night. So we're starting all the promo and everything now. And so we'd love to get you guys to follow Art by Athletes as we get ready and gear up for Super Bowl 2022 in LA. So again, I appreciate it. And anytime you guys need me, give me a call.
Yeah, anytime we have any of the sports stuff also too, because I like that you know your stuff. There's not too many of us sports girls out there.
Hey, and you're from the Bay too, so you get double points. Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah.
j.Pin, do you have any last words for tonight?
Nothing, man. Just keep tuning in. We're actually getting ready to celebrate our anniversary. Yes, Limelight's anniversary happened this month in February. So we'll do a special little treat for you guys. And just be on the lookout for that. So just stay tuned, follow Sharick and I. And yeah, it's always love.
We love you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of your edges, stay away from Gorilla Glue, and continue to be fabulous. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.